Time to musk up. Wow.
All right, back again. Today I want to talk about a fragrance that someone in the comment section asked me to speak about, and I figured why not, because it's an absolute classic, still made till this day, although it's not found in America anymore. You can't find it in Canada. Personally, this bottle I picked up from the UK. I found a store that would ship it to me. Selfridges had it. I had free shipping with them, but unfortunately they refused to ship Chanel fragrances overseas. And before we begin, I want to say happy July 4th to everyone in America. And let's begin. So this fragrance was released back in 1955. It was the original men's release to the Chanel fragrance line. It's called Chanel Pour Monsieur, the Eau de Toilette concentration. Now this is a vintage bottle. Still, the bottle is very similar to what it was from back in the day. Typically, brands like to change up the presentation, make it more modern, maybe sometimes change up the name. Guerlain likes to do that a lot, but Chanel never switched. The presentation changed a little bit, right? But it still had this kind of cylindrical square design here. Very classical. I personally like it. Still a plastic cap, but regardless, very, very nice presentation. I think this is a batch from, I want to say this is a 4001. So around 2019, 2020, something like that. And this was perfumed by Henry Robert. I'm gonna put the notes up here so you can see it. This is a Chypre, but one thing I do want to point out here is that there's no note of bergamot here, and usually you do need that at the top to have a Chypre, but here rather it is lemon, and they have lemon verbena, neroli. I would say kind of also a Chypre slash kind of citrus aromatic. Let's just spray this on. All right, now one thing you do want to be careful with when you do spray this bottle, because the sprayer is so low, there will always be some fragrance juice that ends up right here on the bottle. And you don't want to leave that because the chrome will deteriorate. And so remember to wipe that off. Oh man, I mean, this is just so elegant, gorgeous, and gentleman-like. Man, that citrus at the top and the lemon verbena, very green, aromatic, and the petitgrain here. Although, like I said, there is no bergamot listed, I still get this kind of green citrus touch here, almost like tea-like. I don't know. I'm reminded of tea when I smell bergamot. So nice. And then right away, you definitely get a lot of fresh spiciness in the mid. Dry coriander. And fragrance overall is very dry, but you're also gonna get this dry, fresh, spicy cardamom, which is really, really nice. Such an easy wear, light in projection, as you would imagine. It is an eau de toilette. I don't know. I put the notes up. I remembered some of the notes, but I definitely get this kind of almost vetiver, this rootiness from a vetiver. Again, another dry note, very grassy almost. And the citruses here, mainly the lemon, is very tangy, very sour on my skin. It becomes for a short period of time, for about the first 10 to 15 minutes, which I don't mind. I almost get this kind of like, I almost see like a fresh pond, like lily pads kind of, in a pond. Light green touches, although I do get some herbaceousness here, some maybe kind of dark green touches as well, almost kind of like a cypress in a way. Almost feel like I'm getting juniper berries as well. I mean, it's amazing. Great fragrance. Absolute classic, timeless classic in my opinion. Sucks that in America you can only get the eau de parfum concentration. That one is a little bit richer, sweeter, more woods in the base. This is a lot more effervescent, and yeah, it's just an easier wear, lighter projection, just what you would expect from an eau de toilette. I do want to mention this is very like uplifting fragrance for me, and I don't know if I feel like ginger does that a lot. There's definitely a nice kind of fresh, snappy kind of like ginger here, and then there's a nice herbaceous note of basil in here as well that you'll find in the mid. And then of course, as it dries down, of course you'll get the oak moss, the vetiver, and then there's definitely some cedar wood in here, although I don't think it's overly woody. It's just blended to perfection, in my opinion. Just everything here is well balanced. You get a little hint of everything here, and it just plays out in harmony throughout the wear, through the 5, 6, 7 hours that it's on skin. Man, I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. And in the notes on the box, if you do look, of course, one of the most important ingredients here is oak moss. You need that for a sheeper, right? And in the ingredient list, they do list Iverna punastri, oak moss extract in here. So there is a little bit in here, and you definitely get that forest floor-like smell, kind of these crunchy leaves effect in the base. I almost want to say kind of like a clean resinous patchouli almost in the base as well, I'm picking up on. Amazing that to this day, although like I said, you can't find it in America, it's still in production. I mean, what can you say? A fragrance from how many fragrances out there from 1955 are still being made to this day? And although Chanel has been really recently starting to discontinue fragrances, this only happened, I would say, the last year or two, where they've really started discontinuing fragrances, because they were actually very good with keeping fragrances in the line and not removing them, from what I remember. I know there's been some here and there that they've discontinued, some of the fragrances that people really don't talk about. I think there's one that has like a jasmine. It's in a rectangle bottle with the white cap. Now, as far as longevity is concerned, you're not gonna get beast mode here, right? I would say you're gonna get a good 5 to 6 hours. By the 6, 7, 8 hour mark, it's definitely gonna be like a skin scent, but personally for me, I don't really care. I don't mind. This is something I definitely wouldn't mind respraying, especially to get that the top note effect again. And I actually do have a vintage Pour Monsieur that a friend of mine from the channel, Eric, sent me a sample of that fragrance, and I tried it, and it's exactly what you would have expected. A heavier oak moss base, not as fresh. I would definitely say the top notes have probably gone out a little bit, but overall I would say the fragrance held up pretty well, but a little bit richer, more of that oak moss in the base. Personally for me, I'm not that crazy into vintage where I would have to look for one, personally, in my opinion, especially when we're talking about a fragrance that is that old, that relies on citruses on the top. And when you're talking about a fragrance like this, I think you need the citruses personally. But you know, some people might disagree with that, but you know, we all have our taste, and I'm definitely happy with this modern bottle of Pour Monsieur, an absolute classic that I hope they never discontinue, but who knows nowadays. But with who knows nowadays with what's going on with the supply chain. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Pour Monsieur, if I ran out of this bottle, I would definitely look for another one. And yeah, All right, let me know if you've tried this, if you like it, or if you don't like it. All right, take care. Bye.